As Venezuela seems impatient to await the decision of the International Court of Justice to resolve a long-standing boundary dispute with Guyana, moves have been made by Venezuela to hold a 3rd December referendum that some believe could be a means to enable the use of military aggression against Guyana. At stake is the western two-thirds of Guyana, known as Essequibo, an area that was given to Guyana since the 19th century, but Venezuela believes it has a claim on the area much earlier. With the threat of military force being used by Venezuela, the Caribbean community issued an official statement to Venezuela. For St. Kitts and Nevis, both countries enjoy diplomatic relations, and for Venezuela, we celebrated recently the 40th year of diplomatic relations. When Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew was asked to provide St. Kitts and Nevis' official stance on the dispute, it was clear that the country's position aligned with the regional grouping on the CARICOM.
We have relations with both Guyana and we have relations also with Venezuela. Just recently, we celebrated the 40th anniversary. Our position is that this region is a region of peace. And as I've said before, that we will do all we can to control this region remains a region of peace. And so I know that discussions are taking place. I am not in a position to speak to all the specifics of those discussions. But the thrust of those discussions is to make sure that we remain a zone of peace and that the best position is reached to ensure that. That is where we are at with respect to our position with Venezuela and Guyana. And I think, well, I know the foreign minister mentioned it in his statement when he spoke at the ceremony, small ceremony, to commemorate the 40th year of establishment with respect to our relations between Guyana and, Venezuela and St. Kitts and Nevis. So that is our position, that we'll continue to make sure that we put our position forward and help in the process that this area remains a zone of peace and the best position is reached with respect to these two nations. And we're not going to compromise.
The CARICOM statement noted, however, that, quote, the referendum proposed by Venezuela has no validity, bearing, or standing in international law in relation to this controversy, end quote. It is believed that a successful referendum will undermine peace and security in the Caribbean region. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.